One of them was Sebulba.
Holy
That's who he's
shit.
talking about. Yeah, Sebulba.
There's another one?
Well, there's Ben Quadranero.
Yep.
Jabba the Hutt is...
Would that be
Jabba the Hutt
Jabba?
is distinctly not in himself.
Cameron Monaghan.
There's too many people that play the Joker.
Cameron Monaghan, probably.
So I drove 22 hours straight, which was over 24 hours in the car.
Ew.
That's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours, yeah.
How'd it go? Did you die?
No, it wasn't too bad. For those of you who may be
did your cat
curious,
be loud and obnoxious the entire fucking way?
That's a good
no, a
question.
couple hours.
Oh,
Then she
nice.
just laid down. It was
I am
nice.
shocked.
And no creature has the energy to just yell continuously for an entire day.
You have not been around many middle schoolers then.
I have. Most of them yell for a couple hours until you stop giving them attention, and then they go talk about how one time they had a friend who smoked weed.
You and I's experience in middle school is very different.
I don't know. What he's saying adds up, though.
Nah, man.
You're telling me that people in your middle school would just stand by you and scream for 24 hours straight?
Yeah.
That's your
No, they
siblings,
wouldn't.
though.
Why
That's
would you
different.
stand? Why were you standing next to someone in middle school for 24 hours straight?
Because I lived with them.
And they just screamed. They didn't ever sleep.
Noah. Noah, you know my family. Does this sound unbelievable to you?
No, it's pretty believable.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Like, I can't prove it beyond it. The worst. It's just the worst.
They can be the worst, but 24 hours straight of just screaming is, their lungs would have given out. Their throat would be gone.
The thing that Dan's leaving out is there were like 5 of them.
Yeah,
and so when one of them would stop, another one would
It was
start.
a cycle. When one fell, another took its place. It was like a hydro, but for screaming.
That sounds about right.
So he's definitely exaggerating just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit, though.
So yes, I think if I had
I know
4
you're
cats
saying
in
just
the
a wee
car,
bit in like the sarcastic way of saying just a wee bit, but like it actually is just a little bit.
yeah, if there were 4 cats in the car, they would have screamed for the entire time.
Okay, that's fair.
But one cat, just was upset for like 2 hours, and then I let her out of her little holder, and she just laid down.
Aw, what a cutie.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxed. It was just a lot of driving, straight from Texas to Pennsylvania.
Texas to Pennsylvania.
And honestly, I bought a handful of alcohol, at least, if you can't tell from my burp.
Oh, nice.
Since I came back from Texas, and not one person has ID'd me.
Are you kidding me?
No, I've been ID'd
Nice.
twice. But both of those times, the people didn't say anything about my Texas license. I just want someone to be like, "Oh, you're from Texas?" So I'll be like, "Yeehaw!" But no one will give me that. I don't know why, but no one wants to be like, "Hey, this is a Texas ID. Did you just move up here, or you traveling through?" Like nobody cares. I want somebody to care.
I'm trying to think of which liquor stores I've been to that regularly will card, but like Wegmans is one of the only ones that.
That's the 2 places that carded me.
If you're buying beer from Wegmans,
2 different Wegmans, the one on Peach Street and the one in Fairview. Both of them.
You disgust
No one
me.
else carded me.
Why are you disgusted, Dan?
Mostly just the fact that we're talking about Erie at all. I'm gonna be honest.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't hate it, but yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just a place.
Mm-hmm.
There's things to do. There's places to go.
People to see.
And people to see. No, really more or less so than most other places.
Mm-hmm. So with that, everyone, welcome back to Off the Air. I'm your host, Noah.
Nice.
Anyone else?
I was gonna let Jackson do it
good.
this time. I was gonna change the formula.
Haven't we already
Jackson
established that
doesn't
I'm good?
go next. You know that.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to force his hand,
Nah.
and then Noah wasn't willing to commit. Noah wasn't willing to sit on that silence for long enough.
Well, I mean, I was going to break the silence by saying nice to Noah's introduction.
That's true. That's true. You did break the silence. It's fair.
I just wanted to comment on what he had to say. Let him know he
That's
was
fair.
heard and valued.
I mean, one of those things is true. I'll let you decide which one.
Yeah, I'm valid.
You are.
I didn't say. I said valued.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
You're
valid.
valid too.
Both.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
heard.
Did you want to talk about Star Wars or something?
I do, but like I figured usually we come into an episode and like I'll try to spend like half the episode trying to talk about the one thing I want to talk about, and then like it'll keep being pushed away because I'll like start a tangent as I start trying to say something, and
Man, this is your chance, and you're whining about it.
then Noah says like, "Oh, Dan, this is your chance. Now you're whining about it," and like it's a whole thing. So you guys, we're recording this on Sunday, May 5th.
I feel like you don't get to talk about Star Wars anymore.
Sunday, May 5th, the Cinco of de Mayo, which now that I've said it that way feels vaguely offensive, but that's fine.
The 5th of May?
Yeah, like the fact that I intentionally fucked up the naming on it feels
The 5th of the May.
Exactly. Like I feel like I've done a bad thing. Anyway, but who cares about that? What we really care about is yesterday, the anniversary of a Smash Mouth's hit, All Star, and more importantly, Free Comic Book Day, and more importantly,
No.
Star Wars Day. And I went on a long adventure yesterday, you guys, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I wanted to
All I'm saying,
sort of humble brag, but mostly just talk with my friends about the adventures
okay,
I've been
but
on.
how much could you possibly have to brag about Star Wars Day? Yo, I was doing some real cool Star Wars stuff. Like,
Oh no, I 100%. So literally, when people were like, "Oh, what are you up to today?" Whatever, because I told like 2 or 3 people that I couldn't hang out that day. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going out for free comic books, and then I'm going to a Star Wars themed bar crawl." And like that might be the lamest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Those are both huge things that garner multi-million dollars in like
they
pop
are,
culture.
But saying it that way, feels lame. Especially when I'm turning down like actual parties to go to this. But yeah, so I did
be honest,
Free Comic Book
were you
Day.
being invited to actual parties?
Yeah, I was actually 2 of them. I mean, I can start naming names, but it won't be anyone you know. Who was with Dave was with me when I got invited to one of them, so he'll back me up. Thanks, Dave. Who?
Buster from Dave and Buster's.
Get it?
It's
it's
Dave and Buster's, who also own Barnes and Noble. Dave Barnes and Buster
They
Noble.
do.
With their full names.
Oh, I'm very skeptical of that.
Almost like it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But why would I lie?
Because it's funny, or you think it's funny?
No, I would never lie.
Comedic effect? Doubt, big doubt. It's like when I tell Noah that I would never lie to him, and then he like makes a weird face, but then can't prove a time that I've lied to him. I feel like we could definitely go back to the podcast and prove a time that Jackson lied to us.
No, I'm tell truth.
I don't think he's ever lied to us outside of a bit that immediately gets resolved.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's technically still lying.
So's what you do.
Nah. Totally different. I can see why you'd be confused though. You see, that's because that's Jackson making the bit, and when I do is me doing the bit. Totally different. One is lying, and the other is truthing.
Godzilla movie?
You know what? Dave was telling me how incredibly hyped he is for it, because apparently there were trailers for it pre-Endgame. And I want to care. I really want to care.
Then you can.
But I
don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah,
did you hear the new song?
I didn't. I mean, I watched the trailer. What was the new song?
So Blue Oyster Cult, way back when, made the song Godzilla.
Good for them.
And Serge Tankian of System of a Down, in addition to whoever's doing the actual movie soundtrack, Bear somebody.
Bear is his name?
I feel like a jerk. I believe so. I feel like a jerk because I don't remember his name. Let me find it real fast.
Nobody named Bear can make a bad movie.
Bear McCreary.
What a powerful name.
Bear McCreary and Serge Tankian covered the song, and it's just so good. I love it a lot.
I watched the trailer and I was like, this looks like a fine time. I like that Godzilla is definitely a thick boy.
Oh my gosh, he is though.
It's not really something I'm normally into, but every like couple years I can let myself go for like some dumb monster movie, because they mean nothing. I love Pacific Rim, and I don't mind the sequel. I don't mind the sequel.
Actually, I think the first time I ever saw it was with you, Noah, wasn't it?
Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
Are you talking about that time we were hanging out with Kyle?
Yes, I am.
Because I got bad news for you, buddy. I fell asleep through that whole movie.
I mean, that's fair. Your brother and I hung out.
Wait, no, have you never seen Pacific Rim?
I haven't.
That's pretty good. It's just
whack.
It's basically just like Neon Genesis Evangelion, but they need 2 people to power the robots instead.
I'll be honest. I mean, that's yes. 1, 2. The things I remember from that night, Noah, are your brother and I spending absurd amount of time. 1, talking about Dishonored, because at the time I was doing a like no kills, no detection Dishonored run. And he's like, I don't know how to do it on the first level. And I'm like, hold up, bruh. Let me show you. Which I'm sure did not like that. I totally looked like a fucking tool about it. And I remember playing, and I'm trying to remember the name of the game. All I remember it was like this physics-based, like turn-based fighting game. And Jeff, when you hear this podcast, do me a huge solid and message me what the name of that game was, because I remember we spent way too long like goofing off with it. Those are my highlights. There was also a movie that happened, but like all I remember was big robots, and like I feel like that's really the only thing that mattered with Pacific Rim.
Big robots and an interdimensional rift from which aliens spring forth to fight the big robots.
That was at the bottom of the ocean,
that
right?
Was, along the Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
Hence
the name.
You got it.
Roll credits.
And then Pacific Rim Uprising.
Where they moved the Pacific Rim up.
Precisely, you got it.
Hence the name.
It's got the guy who was in Star Wars, I don't know his Star Wars name because I don't care, but it's John Boyega. It's his real person name.
I don't know his Star Wars name, but it's okay. No, yeah, John Boyega is great. I remember him.
He's
in that
real
movie.
British, and he's like, my dad was Idris Elba, and everyone's like, oh no, his dad was Idris Elba. He's like, you know what that means? And everyone's like, he's the chosen one. He's like, I don't want to be the chosen one this time, though. And then he's like, I'm not gonna get in the robot. And then it just becomes Neon Genesis Evangelion, but this time his dad's dead. It really is not. They're not the most original movies, but
they're really not. I mean, they're just fun.
Yeah, precisely. And just like the Godzilla movie, like I don't intend to have anything in my life changed, but every like 3 years or so, when they release a movie like this, I'll watch it. And it's because they only release a movie like this every 3 years. If they did it more often, I probably wouldn't watch them.
Honestly, I feel like it's important to watch movies every now and then that have no actual impact on you, that are just there to have fun.
I think all movies have no impact on anyone.
I mean, I would disagree, but you can believe what you like.
That's a hard stance. I am not backing down. Movies and all forms of media outside of zines are useless. That's right. I'm a small town indie creator.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
God, I want to follow that up, but there's nothing I can even do, man. You fucking took the ball, you ran with it, you ran to the other side of the field, and now I'm not gonna run after you. That's so
you can
far
just say
away.
I dunked the ball.
No. See, I was thinking like when maybe it was just me because I had shitty friends as a kid.
Did your friends make zines?
No. I was gonna say shitty friends who you're out fucking goofing off with like a football or something, and someone just grabs it and like runs all the way to the other end and like expects you to come chasing after them because they really want to be. That's what they want to do, and you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not putting that effort in.
I was faster than all of my friends, and I would have beaten them to death had they tried to run away from me.
I mean, I was also faster than all my friends, but here's the
This was when I
problem:
was
I can
4.
only run for. I can only run for about 100 feet before my lungs give out.
So you weren't the fastest of your friends.
Oh, I was. For those 100 feet? Whew.
Doesn't even remotely sound like you were the fastest friend, though.
I mean, I was for just very short distances.
100 feet's not a lot of space.
I feel like I'm under exaggerating because I have no mental context for how long 100 feet actually is.
Look at my wiener. Thank you guys. I'll be leaving now.
No, stop. Don't.
Psych, I'm back. Bless you.
God.
If you could not
Shit,
make
your
noises.
100-foot wiener got me. No, I hate it when people burp into microphones. Like I hate it grosses me the fuck out. Same with like not as bad as my girlfriend is, but same with a lot of like mouth sounds. It's part of the reason that I despise ASMR. Like mouth sounds freak me out.
I always forget that you hate ASMR.
Even the Neil Srig album?
Oh, I do like that album. That album's a wild trip. Why is it that of all the musical references you make, why is that the only one I've ever gotten?
You don't listen to music.
I do. I just don't listen to.
Is that because you think music as an art form is bad and has no ability to impact people? Weird. I was supposed to.
Nah, man. I
Yes,
just think
that is
it's
a hard opinion I hold.
Thank you, Noah.
I just think
Music is
movies are the
worthless.
superior art form. You know, like Shadow the Hedgehog is like the superior being. I think movies are superior art form. Have we talked about the Sonic movie yet? Did we talk about that yet?
No.
Because I mean, I don't know what we're gonna add that other people haven't already said beyond. Oh, hey, that's kind of neat. They're going back and redesigning the character because everyone was real mad.
See, I'm of mixed opinions now because I was ready to just hate the Sonic movie because it was going to be bad, you know?
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
And now someone's going to expect me to appreciate the Sonic movie because they fixed it, but I'm not going to watch it still. But now I feel bad because I was one of the people that complained, and now some animators have like a hellish existence where they have to fix this movie.
Yeah, because thousands of neckbeards who are crying because something they don't like exists are going to get something that they're not going to actually care that much more about.
I feel like that's a straw man and a half, because it wasn't like I was angry about the character
Yeah, I know.
design.
That's exactly the people I was talking about. Got him. Yeah.
Ooh, man, he's just dabbing on you
Yeah,
left and right.
I'm actually dabbing right
Well,
now.
at least I don't want body pillows.
You
But
act like
see,
that's something I'm
I'm
ashamed
just gonna
of.
roll. I'm gonna keep rolling here. One
ahead,
of the
sorry.
things that I heard about this is, or that like I heard people saying, and I kind of am agreeing with, this clearly was already like a really touchy spot for everybody, because there's no way a major studio, just like one day after this really subpar trailer drops, there's absolutely no way that they're gonna come in and be like, "Oh, we're gonna listen to our fans now," because people have been complaining about the Sonic movie's existence from day one. And they've also complained about his design from the first time we saw it in
It's
the
true. I
poster.
remember those feet. I never forget a pair of feet.
Exactly. People have been complaining about the design the entire time. I think this mostly just shows that the studio finally listened to what everyone was saying, rather than just like, you know, every actor they could find connected being tweeted at, and the director and everything like that. The execs actually saw like, oh, there's pushback. Okay. And
Well,
this... No, I'm almost done, I promise. This got away from me a little bit.
No, you're good.
But it also kind of tells me that there's definitely a lot of tension about it already within the departments, like, and like the teams, that they were probably also not okay with this design, but someone kind of pushed the point and made it happen.
Yeah, it was probably a production era or a production end thing where they were like being forced to put out a product.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm going to tell you what happened, and I'm speaking purely from what I know of the industry and like my limited experience within the industry. What happened was they had a character design that they were like, they brought to the execs, the producers, whoever the hell is in charge of the actual final green light, and they were like, "Hey guys, look at what we made," and the guy looked at it and he's like, "Doesn't look like a hedgehog at all. What the fuck? You fucking where look at those legs. What the fuck is that?" And like went in on like, "Oh, I want it to be more realistic. I want it to be more realistic. I want it to exist in the world." And the fact of the matter is that it fell into what we all know of as Uncanny Valley, where it looked too incorrect. Like it looked tried to be human, but then was so wrong in certain areas that it didn't work at all. And to add on to that, after watching a couple of like CGI breakdowns, to be completely honest, even besides the character design, the CGI wasn't fucking great either.
No, there's a whole lot of things about it that weren't great, and I know a lot.
I'll give it
I
flack
don't
for
want
poor
the Jim
CGI just
Carrey-
because it's an early version.
Yeah, it's the same pass that I'm giving the Aladdin thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he
that
not
it
blue
looks
anymore?
a lot. It looks a lot better now.
Yeah.
No, he is blue like half the time. He just
Yeah.
like
Sometimes you just don't want to be blue. But blue his
What I'm
house
assuming they're
with
doing-
the blue little windows. And a blue
what I'm assuming they're
Corvette.
doing is when he's off genieing it up, he's gonna be blue. But then when he like is just hanging out with Aladdin, he's gonna be just Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be Will Smith.
It's gonna. Everyone keeps saying that like, oh, I can't watch it and not just see Will Smith, and I'm like, but it.
To be fair,
I don't get that.
also it is just unedited Will Smith face. So yeah, you're gonna see Will Smith. Like if,
I meant like in the way that like for a lot, like people have that with a couple of different actors who are like, oh, I can't watch this character because all I think of is it's so and so do like they see the actor behind the character, and I don't know, I've never got that. Maybe I just like am more willing to just accept a movie's bullshit. But like people were even saying it with like Pikachu or like in the new Pikachu movie where Pikachu where they're just like,
now, Dan,
it's just Ryan
I'm gonna
Reynolds.
have to stop you. Have you heard the lines he's said?
Oh, I have, but like I don't know. I know consciously it's Ryan Reynolds, and if I listen, I can be like, oh yeah, that's obviously his voice. But like just watching it, I don't think that's Ryan Reynolds in a Pikachu costume.
well, it's because it's not.
I mean, I'm over exaggerating, but
Weird.
yes, it is clearly not.
I mean, I'm gonna enjoy that one. I'm actually
one-
really excited about
I saw
Detective
some
Pikachu.
I saw some early reviews, dude. It's looking real damn good.
But back on the subject of the Sonic movie, because I got some more to say about this.
Sonic, go.
Nothing against the people that are talking about how Jim Carrey is going to save the day, but I don't think he is.
I think he
'Cause
is.
No, the whole trailer was atrocious,
Oh yeah,
and the best part was where he was in it,
I disagree.
which I think that was the best part of the trailer, and it was still atrocious.
I didn't mind Jimmy Carrey. Yep, Jim Carrey's portrayal of Eggman. I thought it worked really well, especially given how they're trying to do a like, oh well, Jim. I assume they're doing it. They're doing the old like, well, you must be truly desperate if you're coming to me for help kind of situation.
Yes, that is indeed what they said in the trailer.
I don't know because I don't remember. I think they just didn't they just do the whole oh you can't mean him, which is not the same. Like there are two ways to play that. One is he's a fringe scientist that like they're bringing in, and one is that he is a active criminal that they're bringing in. And I'm assuming it's the latter, not the former.
I just wish they would have let the movie be really, really bad. That way it could be having really redeeming qualities. If Sonic looks good and the rest of the movie still fucking sucks, it's not gonna be that much better. It's just gonna be like, hey, look, it's a bad movie. This time Sonic doesn't look as bad though. I want Gremlin Sonic
the other problem
back.
is that like they're not taking a single risk with the storyline. Like it's such a basic, boring ass storyline. Oh, he's gotta come. He's from another world. He's gonna Sonic's gonna show up to save the day. Oh, he's got a
Can we
human
talk
companion.
about the fact that Sonic's an alien now, and that's really weird?
Was he not?
I mean, he's always
before?
been an alien. No, he's always
Well,
been from Mobius.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's never.
Still,
All the games take place on a different world called Mobius.
let me rephrase this then. Can we talk about the fact that Sonic being talked about so quickly as like, oh, I just gotta save your planet was a really weird line to include in an already controversial movie?
yeah.
I don't know, man.
For people like me who are like fringe fans who never paid that much attention to deep Sonic lore.
I mean, if you didn't if you weren't like, in my opinion, I think that if you weren't already angry at the movie, you wouldn't have as much of a problem with that line.
That's probably
I don't think you would have even like it would have just been like an assumed. Oh yeah, no. I mean that's how they're doing it because I mean there's no way that they're unless they're going the full like Sonic Adventure 2 route where talking animals are just like a thing. That was the only way they could do it, in my opinion.
I just want them to bring back Gremlin Sonic. I kind of miss him. He was so weird.
Why are you? I will say I do really appreciate all the dumb memes that have come out of it.
And I have no attachment to Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, I think have I talked about my Sonic the Hedgehog fan history?
Yeah.
Like as a person?
I mean, I played all the games and stuff, but I don't have any attachment to the character. I'd love to see him murder my boy.
You just want to see Sonic the Hedgehog fucking die?
They massacred my boy.
Your boy in this case being your friend, Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, it's actually my son. I'm Don Corleone.
I've
heard of my movie before? Pacific
your son,
Rim.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Pacific Rim.
My son,
I
John
like-
Boyega.
Fuck.
They massacred my boy. Oh, Dad, I'm not dead. I'm out here living at slum in the streets with the carcasses of these giant aliens that are apparently hyper valuable, but also just left around all the place. You know, it's upsetting. It's insane. That's my Pacific Rim, but Marlon Brando, an elderly Marlon Brando, is the person who plays Idris Elba's character, and nothing else changes.
I don't know how I feel about this at all.
Today we are
I'm down.
canceling
100%.
the apocalypse. That's Bernie Sanders. I just did Bernie Sanders there. That would be pretty good too.
That would be a much
Ladies
better
and gentlemen
movie.
of America, today we are canceling the apocalypse. I believe that using a Jaeger should be a basic human right. That's
So, can we talk about giant mechas?
Yeah, sure.
I actually watched a mecha anime last night.
I'm going to be watching one tonight.
Which one?
Gurren Lagann.
No, watch a
Oh
bad one.
shit, that's right. You guys are doing.
Have you
that
seen
tonight.
Code Geass, Noah?
No.
Put that as high as possible on your list if you like Arthurian knighthood and mecha anime that has some strategy involved. And it's like fleets of mech in like a battle environment as opposed to like the single combat from like Gurren Lagann.
See, Gurren Lagann, we're watching that because that was just the next one up on Anime Nights.
Hey, by the way, plug for the Discord server.
Wait, when are anime nights?
Come.
Anime
Here.
Nights every Sunday night. We get together, we watch through the entirety of My Hero that's out, including the movie. And
now
we're about
they've
6
moved on to-
episodes into Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. I would never show up to it, but from everything I've seen, everyone shows up and everyone has a great time.
Yeah, we have fun with it.
Wait, can I go to anime nights
Counterpoint,
now?
you should. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're part of. You know what? No,
Wait.
it tracks it. You have
Oh,
no
is this
idea.
a Discord thing?
This
never
is in
mind.
here, fam.
I thought it was like an in-person thing. I don't really like doing things on the internet.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, no, we watch it on Rabbit.
yeah. I don't like doing things on the internet, which is why I have this podcast that I do.
1 hour once a week's not too bad. I don't know. I just don't like sitting down and like talking to people.
I mean,
on the
that's
internet.
basically my sex life.
Don't lie.
It's a lot less than 1 hour, 1 hour once a week. You're right.
It's okay. You got me beat.
Oh, buddy.
It's okay. I'm just an incel.
I see. But are you a hateful, angry incel, or just that you're happening to use that term to describe yourself?
What do you mean? Is there a
I don't
not
know.
hateful angry incel?
I don't know. I mean,
We're all
in the same way that,
angry.
like, in the same way that you can be a gamer and not like an actively trash. You're right. I'm sorry. What am I saying?
Wait, were you gonna say gamers are trash humans? Were you
Uh,
gonna oppress gamers even
no.
further with your hate
No, man.
speech?
gamers.
I am a gamer, so it's okay.
It's not
I can say
okay.
that.
It's still a word.
You're right. It's internalized gamer oppression.
Yeah, you're just oppressing gamers from the inside.
Oh.
Uncouth.
Speaking of trash communities full of trash people, did you guys see anything? I think it was 2 weeks ago now. We had fucking Star Wars Celebration. Did you guys see anything from it? Noah specifically, because Jackson, I know you don't care.
No, I don't pay attention to Celebration.
Is Celebration
So,
an event? Like
I've been majorly disconnected from a lot of things I like recently,
I mean,
just
that's
because I've been
fair.
busy.
That's fair. I mean, same. Celebration is this yearly massive Star Wars event. It is the big Star Wars convention, actually hosted by
George Lucas?
I believe it's hosted by Disney now.
Oh, wow.
George Lucas has made a lot of appearances. They announced new games this year. The big thing for me that they did was they did a big presentation on this new
Anything to
piece
do
of
with Boba Fett?
there was some new footage for The Mandalorian, which looks real good, dude.
Is he the Mandalorian?
No, he's not, which is actually great because he's a boring character that's boring and doesn't deserve the fame he gets because he has fucking
Yeah,
3
but
lines
he
in the
looks
original
cool
trilogy.
as hell, and the rest of everything does
He
not.
does.
Except for those long neck boys that Obi-Wan Kenobi hangs out with. Love those guys. Bring them back.
Dan, I don't know why you're attacking my favorite Star Wars character right now, but you need to stop.
Get a better favorite. Jango Fett's a better character. And Jango Fett lost his head.
Bro, 90% of Star Wars characters have 8
Spoiler alert.
lines.
I mean,
No,
it's
that
fair.
tracks, actually.
Ki-Adi-Mundi is my favorite Star Wars character because he's the only Jedi allowed to bang.
I like that even you know this tale.
What do you mean even I know that? I
Wait,
only know that. I know nothing else in Star Wars except that Ki-Adi-Mundi can get it. And he does.
He has to legally.
Yeah, no, he...
I need to understand
Ki-Adi-Mundi
what
is
I'm
part of a race.
so-
I got this.
Yep.
This is the only
Go
thing I
for
know
it,
about
man.
Star Wars.
Listen, take it. Listen, I'm so
Ki-Adi-Mundi,
proud of you
or
right
as
now.
I know him-
This is like watching my kid go out and try to talk to a woman for the first time. I'm so proud of you.
If
Go for it,
the
bud.
kid's going to talk to you about conehead sex, then yeah, you've raised your kid up right. So the only thing I know about Star Wars, other than the little guys with the hoods on that walk around the desert,
Otini!
yeah, those guys, the Otinis. The Ki-Adi-Mundi is the guy who has like a cone head and a ponytail on top, and he is the only Jedi that is canonically allowed to have sex. Because he's part of a race in which there's only a male born every 100 years, or maybe it's not that. I think it's there's a 90% women, 10% men ratio. So there's a terrible ratio. So all the men on the planet are working overtime. And since he's one of them and also a Jedi, he has to go back to his home planet a couple times a year just to bang and make kids. And he has 3 wives and 8 kids.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that is 100% accurate. At least in Oldkin. I don't know if that's the case anymore. But
Disney
yeah, it's
probably doesn't want people thinking about him banging
Why?
people, so it's probably not canon anymore.
it's like a 20-to-1 ratio.
My thoughts are that Jedis are actually all allowed to have sex, but they just tell everyone and pretend like they're not, because that way Yoda doesn't get his his hopes up. Because if Yoda went out there, he would be destroying all the coochie in the galaxy.
So it's the Catholic Church, but but if the Pope was a sex god.
Do they hide the? Wait, are you telling me all the Catholic priests are banging people, but they're just telling the Pope that no one's allowed to? That way he doesn't feel bad?
Yes. Are you telling me that's not how the Catholic Church works?
Yeah, that's not how the Catholic Church works.
Yeah, that's not quite there.
And,
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it goes down. Listen, if my experience with the Catholic Church is anything to go off of, everyone be banging. It's just a matter of how legal it is.
Weird.
But yeah, point is, yeah, Mandalorian, new show coming to the new Disney streaming
Can
platform.
he bang?
It looks real good. What's up?
Can the
for sure.
Mandalorian? Can he can get it?
She, I think they confirmed it was a she recently. I can't remember. Now,
SJWs. How dare
What?
people?
SJWs are taking over Star
How
Wars.
dare you represent one half of the nation's
I could be
people?
wrong. Let me double check.
Or,
Let
I
me
guess
double
the
check before I
world.
start saying some dumb shit. I thought for some reason that the main character. Nope, I lied. I'm a total liar. It is not at all. For some reason, I thought the main character was a woman, but he is not. So it's fine. So no
That actually would've been
SJW.
kinda cool, but
Although
never
he, his name is Pedro. So
in a long time
Okay.
ago in a galaxy far, far away.
The actor's name is the actor's
Okay.
name, Jackson.
Oh,
So I was because
The
you guys
guy's
were
name is Luke
talking about
Skywalker. That's the same thing.
Because you were saying, did SJW, and I was gonna make a forced diversity,
Oh.
whatever. It's fine. It didn't track. It's fine. It's fine. Moving on.
I don't know.
But none of that matters. What I cared about was Galaxy's Edge, which is a new park opening up in Anaheim as part of Disneyland. That is, so you know how Disney has in each of their parks has like different like areas, right?
Wait,
so like they have like Harry Potter World and
That's
all that
not
different
Disney,
thing, right?
That's Universal Studios.
For Disney they have similar like areas, right?
Yeah. Did they open the Star Wars land in Orlando yet?
They did not.
Okay, because I know they were last
heard
time I
it
was
was
there. They
good,
were working.
though.
on
Wait,
it.
no. They might have for the one in Orlando, maybe, but this is a different like. This is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, I just knew they were doing that one last time I was there. I wasn't sure they were finished.
I don't think so. They have to. No, they have to have because I've seen a bunch of stuff from it, so they have to have opened it by now. I think. Now I'm not sure, but I'm not going to look it up because even though I have access to the internet, I'm focused on one thing at a time. Galaxy's Edge is a massive like recreation of a Star Wars spaceport, including if I remember correctly, the only place in Disneyland that you can get alcohol. Has the only bar in Disneyland. Because it's Cantina.
Disneyland, maybe.
That it includes a ton of like different Star Wars rides, a bunch of like a bunch of like merch, a bunch of the usual stuff you'd expect. The thing that blew my mind was this lightsaber shop or lightsaber like construction area. So in the same way that in Universal, you can build your own wand essentially, wand choose and like does a bunch of different things around the area. In the same way, in the new Galaxy's Edge, you'll be able to buy and build your own lightsaber.
Yeah, I think they have that at Disney World too.
They probably do. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I literally would go for mostly that, knowing for a fact that I would spend thousands of dollars on a piece of plastic and maybe some metal if it's really high quality. I like the idea of like you get to go in and like you get to select your own lightsaber crystal, and then like depending on which one you get, your little holocron will tell you different things about it. Very cool. It also weirdly, if I remember correctly, also has this weird like area control like phone game that's like attached to the park, where depending on like you can join the new order or whatever, and the first order rather, and the new Republic, and like fight, like air quotes fight for control of different areas of the park. Very cool.
Huh, so they made Pokemon
I think
Go?
it's super dope. It has this massive like recreation of I think it is actually supposed to be the Millennium Falcon. I can't remember if it's just supposed to be a Corellian freighter or not, but I'm pretty sure it's the Millennium Falcon. Like it's massive recreation that you can go up into.
It's
For all intents and
definitely the
purposes, it doesn't
Millennium
matter.
Falcon because no one's going to ever think of it as anything else.
Well, yeah, it's the Millennium Falcon if only because that's what it looks like. Yeah, very cool. I thought that was super cool. The other thing I thought was really cool was they showed the first trailer for the new Star Wars game. And I'm blanking on the name of it. Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Which looks like a mixture of Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, and if you ever played the old Jedi Knight Jedi Academy games. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
The lightsaber like they didn't show much. All they showed was like very, very brief like gameplay trailer, and they showed the lead actor, the lead like character, who is an actor that I have been a fan of since he showed up in Gotham. He plays the Joker in Gotham, and he is phenomenal.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Is that his name?
No, that's the guy who plays the Joker in the new Joker movie.
Remember we talked about that?
Right. Sorry.
Keith,
which I'm still excited
Ledger.
about.
Also excited for that. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson. Jared
His
Leto.
name, Cameron Monaghan.
There's too many people that play the Joker.
Cameron Monaghan, probably.
Yeah.
Cameron Monaghan, he was great in Cameron. Dude, it has been a long day. Yeah, very excited. I don't know. It really it made me really happy to see all the different things they're doing with it and like the amount of like detail they're putting into every single thing. I mean, what you would expect from Disney, yes, but nonetheless still kind of the first of its kind as a piece of the new Star Wars experience, you guys. Yeah. Also, Peter Mayhew died this week, which is very sad. This week it would have been this week. He played Chewbacca in everything up through The Force Awakens, and from everything I've ever heard and seen, it is and was the nicest man of all time. Very active in the community. R.I.P. Broke my heart a little bit because he's good people, and it was very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Man, from what I remember, from what I was reading, man was not even an actor when they found him. He just was real tall.
Nice.
I mean, that adds up, honestly.
Also,
I mean, yeah.
the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be at both parks. It is both. Neither of them are finished yet, but I don't know if they're identical or not. I hope they're not.
I hope they're not. I saw some pictures of like the overhead view of it. I saw some aerial photos, and like, here, let me just throw you.
Put one of the Paris one too. Disneyland
I'll
Paris.
throw you a picture, Noah, because it's huge. Like, it is absolutely
I've seen
massive.
the pictures.
Okay,
I've seen
you?
the pictures. Yeah.
Because the thing is,
I saw it when they were building it.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I'm just excited for more Star Wars stuff. I'm really excited where, like, besides the fact that the fan base is more toxic than ever.
What?
I'm really happy with all the new stuff Star Wars is doing across the board.
Wait.
Also,
I need some more explanation on the fan base more toxic than ever.
Oh, I mean, the fan base has only grown more toxic since episode 7. Like, the fan base has gotten worse and worse.
Yeah, didn't they cyberbully that one lady off the internet?
Yeah,
that reminds me.
Imagine being
they
to someone over
that.
a movie.
I know, right? Imagine.
And that makes me angry. But I had someone, I was cutting their hair the other day, and they tried to tell me, oh yeah, J.J. Abrams is going to retcon a lot of the stuff from that last movie.
Why?
There's 100% chance that that's going to happen.
And I'm just like,
no, wait. There's a 0% chance that's going to happen, is what I meant.
Yeah, you can't just be like, last movie canceled. Actually, you can, and plenty of franchises have done it. Or at least attempted to.
Star Wars definitely will not. I would be shocked.
Like, Disney made their money. They already had signed off on it. It was made. Mm-hmm. Disney's not about to back down. This isn't even out of character for Disney to have like a strong female character, which is what everyone was angry about. Well, and I guess this is the Disney touch that everyone was afraid was going to happen. But
yeah, man, can't have women in my Star Wars. It's a fact. Women in Star Wars only exist to be princesses.
Padme was not, though.
Or she queens.
It's almost as if Dan is kidding.
No, but he's not, because that's what people say.
No, there are people who genuinely are like that is it is a straw man, but it's a straw man that's like being propped up by an actual person behind it.
You're telling me that Star Wars fans or just generally nerdy men have a tendency to be toxic towards women?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I could not believe this.
I don't understand why. I really don't. I don't.
Well, they're probably just mad that they aren't getting as much coochie as Yoda would be.
I mean, to be fair, aren't we all?
Well,
except for Noah.
No one is having a fraction of as much sexual intercourse.
What do you mean, except for Noah?
No,
I mean, you're not mad about it.
It was just a really weird thing.
Yeah, it's because Noah's the only person who's actually having as much sex as Yoda, which is to say, infinity amounts.
Canonically, off the air official canon, Noah slays. That's all I'm saying.
So the off the air canon, Noah is Yoda status. Dan has less than 1 hour of sex a week.
Dan is Anakin Skywalker.
And Jackson's an incel.
Had sex one time and then ruined everything.
And I'm an incel.
Jabba?
Jabba the Hutt is.
Would that be Jabba?
Jabba the Hutt is simply not an incel.
No, no. I mean, he is, but he's kidnapping women to
which
be able to slay.
At what point?
Which I feel like is a very incel thing to do.
He's not very celibate at that point.
That's true. He's just in. Wait, I don't like that.
He is.
I don't like that at all.
I'm glad I could help.
You couldn't.
That's what I was gonna say. So Star Wars and comic books, right? I think that we are in a age like this new golden era of both comics and tabletop games.
Okay.
This is my thesis. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Can I leave?
No, the doors are locked and poison gas is filling the room. So
this is a shit TED Talk.
Yeah, I don't like TED Talk very much.
I mean, congratulations. That's what it's like to sit at most TED Talks.
That's true.
I mean, TBH, like most TED Talks only have one or two really good things per. I've been to at least two. Well, no, I've been to one that had like set to 8 people, and like only one of them was really, really good.
I would never go to a TED Talk.
Anyway, I like them in theory. Anyway, yeah, I think we are. I think things like Critical Role and Acquisitions Incorporated and stuff like that have kind of brought back tabletop games into the limelight. And I think because we're getting a lot of people who are doing a lot of really interesting things that haven't been done in the community since, like, they're people. I feel like people are more willing to try new things now than they were 5 to 10 years ago. I think the community really stagnated for a long time. They were like a lot of tabletop games were on the brink of collapse, and at least in some cases, looking at you, D&D, Shadowrun, stuff like that, they've definitely started to come back with their new editions, trying out new things, kind of make the game more accessible to a lot of people. And I think part of that is due to like the online community suddenly like finding these very, very popular people playing the game. I think in the same way, comic books are having a similar resurgence due to the things like Marvel. Essentially, it's Marvel. Because of Marvel, I think that comics are having a massive resurgence as well. Like, I had to stand in line yesterday to get into a comic book shop.
But to be fair,
That's
it's like
every comic book day, though.
Yeah, no, that's like that's
No. I mean, let me phrase that. Maybe not the last two that I went to.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
The last two that I went to, they weren't dead, but they definitely weren't. I didn't have to stand in line to get into the building. I mean, Philadelphia has about 6 or 7 of them. We went to 5. Of those 5, one had a massive line. Two were at least like had short lines, and then the other 2 were relatively clear.
We went to 5 comic book
still
shops.
busy. Mm-hmm.
Did they
got a lot of comics, dude?
Different stuff?
Yes and no. Some of them had different stuff. A lot of them had like only take 3 or 4 per person, and there were like 24 different free comics, some of which were really cool. I also made terrible mistakes and bought 2 comics that I actually don't regret. One was the Rick and Morty D&D comic series, because it's well, let me phrase that. Hold on, let me finish. I didn't care so much that it was Rick and Morty. I did care that it was D&D, and I really bought it because it was co-written by one of my favorite writers, Patrick Rothfuss, who I've talked to in the past about, who did King Killer Chronicles, which you can read or listen to via our sponsor, audibletrial.com/off the air.
The sponsor is Audible.
Boom.
You go to the link though.
Audible.
What, Noah?
I was actually talking with Jeff and his wife about this today. The fact that you always say / and not just / off the air, and I know why you do it.
I don't know why I do it.
Huh?
I don't know why I do it. So
I assume that you do it because you're used to talking in like pathing on like your computer, where you / and because you like have friends who code. But I've always thought it was the weirdest thing.
I don't know.
Only because I've never done that.
If you wanted to learn how to code, go check out a sponsor. Audible Trial.
How are they going to help you code?
/ off the air.
You can listen to.
There
you can
are
listen
definitely
to
coding
audiobook
audiobooks. There's 100. Yes, 100%.
0% chance I ever listen. I believe they're existing, but how would that help you? Listening to someone tell you how to do something on a computer, unless you're doing it at the same time, this seems like a bad exercise.
Listen, man, I'm not. Who am I to judge? You know,
I know who I am to judge, and that's why I'm doing it.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, so I got those. I got that. I got plug over. Yeah. I got the Rick and Morty 4-part comic, and then I got the John Wick comics, which are really good. No, actually, next time you're down here, I'm gonna throw them your way because I think you'll really like them. It's this prequel comic that like kind of focuses on a little bit of John Wick's origins, but like still leaves a lot of his past in mystery. And that was really fun. I also kind of did tiny back to Star Wars, found, for the love of God, finally, this comic series that I've been looking for about 4 years off and on.
Should I try the internet?
And before somebody says it, I could have long ago, I could have just gotten it online, but like I like to support local comic shops, and 2, finding it online felt like it would have been cheating, if I'm being 100% honest. Because part of the fun of it was like hunting down the pieces of this comic series. The series is called Star Wars Infinities or Infinites, I can't remember. And it is an old 2002 Dark Horse comic series about alternate universe Star Wars stuff. Highlights include Darth Vader and Darth Maul fighting, Yoda taking on the Emperor while on board the second Death Star that R2-D2 then takes over and crashes into the surface of Coruscant.
R2-D2 beats up Darth Vader and Darth Maul.
R2-D2 takes over the Death Star
and then kills himself.
Weird. And Yoda. It's a wild series. And then there are kind of like the less interesting ones, if I'm being honest, which are just, what if Leia turned evil?
Damn, dude, what if? Although Leia turned evil sounds just about as exciting as what if 2 bad guys fought.
I mean, that's fair. I can't disagree with that.
But I like that
just
R2D2
really-
killed himself.
Can
we make that
you like
canon?
R2D2 kill? I mean, he kind of did for a while.
He killed himself?
I mean, he shut himself down.
Yeah, but couldn't he just turn himself back on?
I don't remember what the conditions were for him turning back
Did
on.
he ever turn back on?
He does.
Wait, does
get,
R2D2
he
die?
does get turned. He does turn back on. He turns back on.
Does the
But
story
he
end
gets
with him
shut
dead?
down for. Yes, congratulations, you figured it out.
How does he
it
die?
doesn't. He shuts himself off
Yeah, but like,
when Luke goes into hiding.
Comes back.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember if BB-8 turns him on or if he turns himself back
He's
on.
in the,
I
he's in the
can't
new
remember.
movies too.
Yes.
Holy
yes.
shit, that's great.
He and 3PO are like the they were intended to be the through line between all 9 movies.
Did one of them die?
No, but 3PO and R2 became much less prominent figures in the or much less like noticeable figures in the latest ones. They really just don't show up as much. Whereas in the first 6 they were around a lot.
I remember
Because
those guys. They were crazy.
George Lucas pulled a lot from I believe old Kurosawa films, if I remember correctly.
Like the Seven Samurai?
Yeah.
You're telling me
I can't remember
R2D2 was in the Seven Samurai? I watched that movie. You wasn't there.
No, he did pull. I want to say it was Kurosawa. I could be. I'm like 90% sure because it was. He pulled specifically from the idea of 2 side characters being the ones who actually tell like the whole story. And I can't remember which film it is, and it's gonna bug me. But like, there's a film, Japanese film where like it is told from the perspective of like these 2 like dirt farmers essentially. But it's like of these massive like world changing events, and these 2 are kind of just sidelined, but they're the ones who get to tell the story in the end.
So you tell me the C-3PO and R2D2 tell the story? So how does that go?
That is
like,
yeah.
Oh well, there was a.
I mean,
Star Wars,
you
and then
see,
R2 goes,
they've recorded how those stories get told in this thing. You might have heard of it. It's called Star Wars.
Well, but
Interesting.
you're telling me that they're the main characters?
I'm telling you that they are the perspective characters. Yes,
Well, what are the times when they're not there?
that is yes. That it's called movie magic.
I like when R2D2 goes. That's my favorite part.
I'm glad.
You know, he
I'm
does
glad.
that?
I like that. Again, I just want Jackson to describe movies with no context.
Oh no, R2, this seems like a very. And he's like, and then he
Fucking-
like, turns around
so
and makes drill
I've been-
sounds.
So there are exactly 2 ways that 3PO is always like played or written. He is either the most useless character in all of Star Wars, full stop, no questions asked. He is useless in every way. Or Mans is at least reasonably competent and just incredibly sassy. And sassy 3PO is great. Useless 3PO is boring.
I think R2D2
Because like R2
is
R2D2
always sassy.
is a piece of shit.
He's got 2
He
He
is.
got
He's
2
always
things he
sassy.
goes. He goes, wow, or he goes like, "Wow," which is like, fuck you.
Or like
He does.
He makes a little fart.
Sometimes.
yeah. And then 3PO goes, "Oh, watch your mouth, R2."
There's only
it's
one
the whole
thing
thing.
else that I know about Star Wars I haven't said, and that's now that's pod racing.
It's okay. I've pretty much finished all of the things I want to talk about.
Now
so
that's
go
pod
for it.
racing.
It's actually now this is pod racing.
Yeah, well, I saw the movie like one time when I was 8, so sorry. Then I played the.
That's fair.
Then I played the
You
Lego
just sounded
games.
so proud of yourself at first, and then so dejected immediately after.
Like I thought I knew a thing.
You're like, guys, I'm part of the cool kids
then one
club
guy
now.
goes, and he blows up people's pods, and that's not pod racing.
I mean, that is
That's rude.
I mean, it definitely it is.
That's basically the pod racing scene, actually.
I mean, that is
You know
accurate.
how much you know about
You're
pod
not-
racing?
Oh, do you really want the answer?
No, of course. I asked Noah because I didn't want a good answer.
The
Oh,
answer
that's
is
fair.
I know too much about pod racing.
What's
Yeah,
the
I
guy's
was
name
gonna say,
that
I feel
goes?
like Noah actually might know a bit.
If you're a real pod racing fan, what's the guy's name that goes and blows up the pods?
Well, one of them was Sebulba.
Holy
That's who he's
shit.
talking about. Yeah, Sebulba.
There's another one?
Well,
I
there's
mean-
Ben Quadranero.
Yep.
Who's-
Does Quadranero blow it? I think
so
he's the one that gets
he's the
blown
one
up like right at
he's
the beginning.
one that no Ben Quadranero is the one with the big 4-engine pod racer that
Oh,
like
that
it
one is
dies
sick.
right away.
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah.
And then there's Dave has a lot of pod racing faves. One of them I can never remember the dude's name.
Oh, that's pod racing.
But he gets way too invested into the character because he's like, yeah, so, he actually has a family back on his home planet and he pod races to
Is it
try and save everyone from the slums and stuff like that. And there's
is
like,
it Kiadi Mundi?
it is not.
Because that'd be sicko mode if he just like whipped out some midichlorian tricks out there on the pods. That's right. I know what midichlorians. Okay, I don't know what they are, but I know the word, and I know everyone gets mad when you say it.
It's okay. No one knows what they are.
No,
That's the whole point.
that sounds like a.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, that sounds annoying. Now this is pod racing.
Yeah, you did it.
I said the line.
You did the meme.
Comedy is dead.
I'm trying to remember who actually all the races are, because Dave will want me to say something about it.
All the racers.
I mean, I definitely don't know all
about
of them.
my favorite racer. His name was Anakin Skywalker.
Why? That kid was the fucking worst.
Because he wins. You may not have watched the movie. Does he win?
He does.
I thought so, because he had to get a new
the
engine.
Worst.
My favorite was Bulbasaur.
So Bulba.
Yeah, same thing basically.
The fucking the bad
God,
guy.
I wish Bulbasaur was a pod racer.
There's Dud. Dud is great.
That sounds like someone who dies.
His name is literally DUD Dud.
Yeah, does he die?
I mean,
remember.
most of them
Yeah,
did.
they all die because it takes
Most
place
of
in
them-
the galaxy
most of them die,
far away and
Not
a long
all, but
time ago.
most. Yeah, Ben Quadranaris, Ratchis Tyrell,
Ratchis Tyrell.
Fode and Beat are the announcers. Those guys are wild.
That's my favorite Vietnamese soup. It's pronounced pho, though. You mispronounced.
Give me 1 second. Now you're not tearing me away from this. Now I've got to know who the characters are, because this is gonna bug the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What an interesting bit.
It's not a bit. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Yeah, Nivaki, Rats Tyrell, Boulez Roar, Ilan Mak,
It's Rats Tyrell.
Let's Roar is my
Rats
signature
Tyrell.
move in my fighting game.
Aldar Bidu, Gascano.
Iron Bar. Is Iron Bar one of them?
Yeah, might as well be
You
TBH.
telling me Iron Bar might as well be one of the names?
Yeah, Aldar Bidu, Rats Tyrell,
Aldar
Saboba,
Bidu. Go back to him.
Mahonic.
Tell me more about
Yeah,
Aldar Bidu.
Aldar Bidu. He's let's see, he finished third in the Boonty Eve Classic,
Wait, hold
sometimes
on.
known as
Aldar-
the
wait, what's his
Hitman.
name?
Aldar Bidu.
Aldar
ALDARBEDO. Aldar Bidu. Where are you?
Bidoof.
like Scoob. I don't know.
Elan
This
Mac.
is pod racing.
There's a guy whose nickname was Bumpy,
Is he still?
which
course
feels
it was.
racist. That feels racist.
Wait,
You gotta stop saying that. It's not. You just say it is, and then
No,
it makes
this one
it
actually
uncomfortable.
definitely is, because his literal like.
are you just gonna say
That-
the N word right now? Because if so, I urge you to
I mean,
not say
if
it.
the N word is Nucknog, which is
That's
the name of
not
the species.
I don't.
Yeah.
That sounds like eggnog. That does not sound racist at all.
No, I feel like if you call a character Bumpy based on like the way he looks, that the way his species looks, that's not okay.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
I mean, what?
Didn't
what
Han
do you
Solo
mean?
shoot that guy for being green?
Yes, that is actually
that
exactly
is what happened. Yep.
happened.
Han Solo, known space racist. And that's in his.
Alright.
That's why he. That's why he keeps dragging his. Never mind.
I don't know what you were about to say,
I
but I
was
don't
gonna
want you to
say-
say it.
I was gonna say,
Chewbacca?
that's why he keeps dragging Chewie
No,
along.
they're friends. No, they're friends. You watch the
Yeah.
movies?
Yeah, man.
No, they're friends.
Keeps
Like,
Chewie around
people
as a
are friends.
pet.
Did you watch the movie, dude? Chewbacca
I mean, you
goes,
can be friends with a pet.
"Ah," and Han Solo goes, Chewbacca, come on, dude, you can't say that
Did
here.
you watch?
I did.
Did you even watch Solo?
I did
And
watch that.
R2D2, and R2D2 goes, "Wah."
Oh,
I know,
I like it.
Archie.
I like it. I really want to.
Chewie, you can't say that.
Uh huh. I mean, that's basically, honestly, that's you just summed up episode 5.
Do you think Chewbacca and
Chewbacca.
R2D2 can talk to each other?
known anger management problems.
Nice.
Yes, 100%.
I think they probably get each other on like a spiritual level.
I don't know that Chewie can understand R2, but R2 can understand Chewie. I mean, I feel like
Marco Peel versus Froze.
my favorite thing
Okay,
is dumb, and I'm not. You know what? I'm done. I didn't want to take this entire episode and just talk Star Wars. I apologize, you guys.
I still
None
can't
of
hear
you
it.
care about it. It's all I care about. It's my whole life. It's who I am. It defines who I am.
I still
And with
can't
that,
hear
we're
it.
I was
wrapping
gonna
up the
say with that,
episode.
with that, we're gonna fucking title crawl our way out of here,
I still can't really
because
hear
that's
it.
what happens in Star Wars.
Hmm.
It's how Star Wars opens and closes. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da.
Hello?
So I'm Noah.
You guys hear
Thanks
me?
for listening. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Yeah.
Oh,
Were you talking a second ago and we couldn't?
I heard no, we can't hear you, and then we
We
couldn't.
can hear you now. Now we can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't. I
Well-
still can't hear you guys. Every once in a while, I get like
Oh,
a
now we
1
can hear
second
you.
snippet of audio.
Hey, buddy,
Uh,
welcome back. Yeah, I think we're losing Jackson here. His
I think
audio is
we
probably
are.
coming through just fine. Jackson, why don't you tell them where they can find
I
you?
heard his audio is far. I guess I'll just do. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just gonna do my R2D2 impression.
That's cool. No, where can they find you? We can
I-
hear you. We can hear. We can hear you now.
Every once in a while, I'll get like. I think I heard
Sounds
Louise
to
for a
come
second
back.
there. I don't know what BB-8 sounds like because I haven't seen his movies, but I think I like
You
that
did.
guy.
You did, in fact, hear that.
And I saw this image of a square-headed guy. who I think is BB-8's friend. That sounds cool.
Just who we are now.
I wish they'd make a movie just about the little guys.
The Conk Droid.
All right, I'm back.
They do.
I think. Dan, you said there's whole series.
There's whole series and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like books and stuff all about the droids. There's an evil C-3PO called C-000.
I would just call him
Well, that-
COOO.
That's the joke.
I think I'm missing something.
Does this amuse you, Noah?
It does. All right, Jackson, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I'm back.
Can you hear us
go
the whole
ahead
time?
Hit us with your outro. I'll outro, Dan will outro, podcast will outro, and we'll be all good.
Wait, no, when I didn't hear you guys, make sure you save that clip of like 30 seconds of me just doing my...
Oh, we heard it. We heard that.
Oh, you guys heard me. So I wasn't broken up. Yeah, I couldn't hear
Yeah,
you guys.
we
I
heard
just
you.
started
It was
talking.
Yep.
My name is Jackson. You can find me on the gram. And on Twitter too. Just follow the podcast on Twitter and they at me all the time, so you can just find it there.
That's fair, actually. Dan, how about you?
You can find me in a cantina far, far away, drinking blue milk and
I'm
looking
sorry,
at
drinking what?
weird space babes. Blue milk. Yeah, man. They drink blue milk on Tatooine.
Wait,
It's milk.
what flavor?
That's
Blue.
blue.
No.
They drink green milk. Luke Skywalker canonically drinks green milk straight from the weird milk tit.
You're telling me Luke Skywalker sucks green juice out of
Yes,
cow boobs?
100%. Yes, 100%. That's exactly how it goes
Does
down.
he do that in the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
That's weird. Why did he put that in?
Because it's hysterical, and Ryan
No.
Johnson is a goddamn creative genius.
That doesn't sound very creative. That just sounds weird.
It's so that's the point. It was supposed to be weird because they're trying to establish Luke Skywalker as like a huge asshole because he is a huge asshole.
You're telling me
But yeah,
Luke Skywalker...
You can find me. You can also find, but if I'm not in that smoky cantina, you can find me on twitch.tv/border rule, Twitter @borderrule57, and Instagram
Why would you drink
@borderrule57.
milk at the bar anyway? Is it alcoholic milk?
If you do it right,
Like a white
Every-
Russian.
Yeah.
No, that's not... No. I would not drink a Blue White Russian. It'd be a Blue Russian, really.
maybe you have like your milk and then like you have something else to drink alongside of it.
Would you take like a shot of whiskey and a sip of milk?
No, I'm not saying whiskey. Listen, you don't understand how space liquor works. You
I mean, the rest
you
of
like
space-
some blue milk in your calf.
I mean, the rest of space in Star Wars seems to just be like Earth, but slightly altered. That way, it's space technically, but it's functionally Earth. So I imagine space liquor is very similar to Earth liquor.
Sometimes not. It depends on which movie and who's writing which book. Oddly enough, space liquor doesn't show up very much because turns out Disney's real wary about having space liquor in their Space Wars. Although I'm hoping the Mandalorian decides fuck that noise and does like a full raging alcoholic as a main character. That'd be great. That'd make me happy.
It's just like
We don't
when
need another
I need
Dan
I need
show.
more
We need-
representation.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch as Bubbadabad, BUBBADABAD. I'm streaming through the entire Dragon Age series, and it's a good time, so tune in for that.
Yeah, you finally learned how to make a like working party. I'm so proud of you.
It's because I added a healer because I decided not to go full DPS, and it sucks.
weird.
Noah's very
I
bitter
miss-
about the fact that he's actually winning the game now. There's a beautiful quote where he says, and I quote, "Wow, adding a healer makes this game so much easier."
Yeah. And you can find the podcast,
Imagine
twitter.com/ the off the air, facebook.com/OTA podcast, and patreon.com/off the air. If you don't want to contribute monetarily, leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you happen to be listening. If we find them, we will read them out loud at the end of the episode. And
Or we won't.
no, we definitely will. I will. And you can also go to freaking heck, what's it called? YouTube. Yep, go to YouTube, sub, get us some
Don't
sort
you
of
have like a sheet
clout?
of these?
what?
Don't you
No.
have like a sheet for all these?
Man,
Like
I'm on Reddit right now. What are you talking about?
What kind of amateur ass? I'm gonna just put like a little readout sheet for the end of the episode together because
I have one. I just don't remember to open it until it's the end of the episode, and it's like, too late.
You
Bye, guys.
edit the episode.
All right. Yep. Thanks for listening, everybody. Catch you next week.
You have the choice.
Also, there was no beer corner this week because since I have been in a beer brewing, I've drank exclusively subtlety as beer. So just get that again. because I have not drank anything else in the past like 2 weeks.